Go live. Oh, I have to hit the button. Oh no, I have to hit the button to go live. Oh no. I had no idea. I was a fool. I was a foolish fool who fooled foolishly because I didn't know that I had to hit the button to go live. Okay, so as you can tell, we're trying something a little different this time because I figured out how to actually get a bench cam working at the same time with the microscope. So yeah, that's going to be a new fun thing that I'm trying this time. Okay. What did you just do? What did you just do, Google? Why did you move my windows around? Don't move my windows around. I need those windows the way they are because it's a very small laptop and it is already like, please, sir, let me die. The pain you see. Okay, and I want to listen to something chill. Well, you know, it's the same station that we had the last time, but do we have something a little bit more? Let's try that one. Yeah. Okay, cool. Sometimes I think I should listen to podcasts while I'm doing this. You like listening to podcasts, don't you? Actually, yeah, I do. So, on the last time, we made the real-time real-time clock module, and as far as we could tell, that all seems to work. I actually don't have a cell for that. I might be able to steal it from one of the humidity sensors from one of the 3D printing cases. I'm not sure. Maybe. We'll find out. Before that, we also made our lovely digital I/O board, which we don't actually need right now, and we got started on the Wi-Fi board. And that is what we're going to start working on today once we get Monsieur Fox out of the way. Oh, did I mention that I fixed the alcohol bottles? I actually fixed these. I thought that I had broken this one or that it failed. The tube just fell out. So I actually have this working again. That was a pleasant surprise. Usually things aren't that nice for me. Okay, so the problem, other than my creaky chair, and if you can hear anything, please give me a chat, just so that I know that, you know, it's working and you're not hearing, I don't know, the Anvil chorus or something playing in the background instead. Not sure where I would have gotten a copy of that from, but okay. Parts. We have... I actually cleaned the bench this time, too. Imagine that. Thunk. Okay. So that's the ESP32 module. We don't need that. There's a bunch of headers and switches, then we don't want to deal with those just yet. But actually among those is this little guy. If I can, oh no, I lost where the frustrum is. Where is it? There it is. Is this little guy. Wow, that is a lot further back than I expected. Give me a second to place that so that it's not running around on me the entire stream. Okay, this little guy is going to cause us pain today because I was a fool and I soldered these two capacitors without noticing that there's a surface mount plate there. And these pads look absolutely tiny in person, but when you put a soldering iron next to them, they don't look so small. So we might be able to get away with this. We'll find out. Otherwise, I will have to desolder those capacitors, and I will be sad. We should probably do the lowest level component first, which means we should definitely do this thing first. Watch as I sneeze, and I will just lose it. Because I probably will. Put a dot or something on my desk so I know where the camera is. Okay. So I think the way that we're going to do this is we're going to try to tack. Okay. I'm going to see if I can move that a little bit because it just feels off. That's what I get. I have a new camera set up and everything is different and I have to do it all over again. So yeah, I'm thinking we're going to solder it from this end first, and I think that will work. I'm hoping that will work, because if it doesn't, well, we're going to have a fun time then. I'm tempted to actually put some flux on this just to glom that down, but come on, heat up, soldering iron, heat up. I feel slightly better about the camera placement knowing that it's only partially a problem now. Yeah, that's what I thought was going to happen. Fortunately, that is not really well bonded on there. So what we're going to do is we're going to try the ye old tack method. Just glom that up because that's the big trace. And then we're going to try to position it because this is the smallest part. Really? Really? Yeah, okay. Okay, that got stuck to the board, so okay. Hi, lass. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the check on the audio and stuff. Is the audio level okay? When I was doing test records yesterday, I noticed that my audio was really quiet, and I'm not sure if it was me or the microphone. I thought it was probably the levels, but I almost always make the levels just so quiet for me. This one is such a pain in the butt. There's one. I need that closer to me, which means it's going to go way off camera unless if I reposition, which I think I can. Maybe. 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 Okay, well. Oh my god, did we actually get that? Did we get that? I think we did. That middle one looks a little bit famished, though. Let's try that again. I think we got that. Even though we had that capacitor in the way. Those all look fine to me. Yeah. The one on the end there is starting to look famished now. It's a power regulator. I'm going to overdo the solder. Thank you for the audio report, Les. There's obviously a several minutes difference here. That was this thing I was dreading all this time, was this, getting this little guy on there. Is it a good soldering job? Oh, heck no. That's just awful. I keep thinking that it's just a little bit fuzzy. I don't know. That's probably as good as it's gonna get for this. Okay, well, we got that part on there. Holy crap, I did not think that we were going to get that the first time without desoldering those. And we haven't injured ourselves either, hey! Everything's coming up Millhouse, as they say. I guess the next lowest component is probably going to be the ESP32. So we're probably going to do that next. I was actually thinking of adding like a face cam to this, but I don't know. I have complicated feelings about face cams. They seem like such an OPSEC risk. I did, however, test the setup for capturing the serial console from a Pi 400, because that is the portable system that I've got available. You know, I'm having a thought here. There are through-hole pins on this, but there's no through-hole pins on here. It's very obvious that they really wanted us to do kind of a surface mount solder, but now I'm wondering if we have enough headers to set that up. We probably don't. Probably don't. Oh, and they're the wrong pitch too. Yeah, okay. Yeah, those are the wrong pitch too. They're not standard 0.1 inch ones. Why is it that standard in inches anyways? That's just... Oh, don't get me started. I just hate the imperial measurement system. I hate it. Give me a metric. Give me a metric like a normal person, not all this nonsense. Okay, let's move that back there so that the food is not on the same plane as the electronic stuff, because that's a bad idea. And of course the soldering fan doesn't want to turn on. There we go. Oh boy. Next most intimidating component on this whole thing. It's so small. And the soldering iron wasn't warm. I'm beginning to think I'm going to tack this. Let's just tack it. This is a nice big pad here, so let's try this one first. Load that one up. Really? Oh. That's gonna be a pain in the butt. Well, no. Do I have some wire handy? A clipped lead anywhere, perhaps? Anything? Because one idea is that we could try centering that with some wire. I have some stranded cord there. Oh man. Figures. I don't think I have anything that would work. You know, I bet though, if I actually add solder to the joining pin, compound my mistakes while I'm at it. No, that's not enough. Aha! You got it! It's only slightly crooked. That'll do. missing the edge of my ramp there. Sorry. Okay, let's see if I can tack this the other ways here. Let's get our little helper out. Alright, somewhere around there. Yeah, that turned out okay. Gotta get that one. Like that, I guess. It was really crooked on that side, but it's not crossing any of the pins, so... You know, I think I'm just gonna go for it. I really should have put some silver wire in this, though, to trace it first. That's what VTubing is for. I have thought of that, but oh man. Don't you need some serious hardware in order to do that, to do the motion capture and everything? Like, I don't think any of my systems are capable of doing that because I'm not a gamer, so I don't really have a gaming PC. I am a boring developer person, so I only have developer PCs. Oh boy. I'm fun a mile a minute with this one. Just how tiny it is. Certainly would have been nice if that Hako actually worked for this, but I don't wanna. I'm gonna have to do it. Nope, that ain't working. I just can't get an angle on this. Ugh. Miserable. Miserable, miserable, miserable work. Is that even close at all? No, one of those just looks awful. There we go. There we go, finally. Ugh. Oh, that was miserable. That was miserable. And I got solder on the package itself. Wow, that's impressive. Hopefully that's not going to cause any problems for me later. Okay. Whew. Alright, what else do we have? We have lots of little headers. So, lots of headers, lots of 3-year headers, and also one of these longer ones. Where does this longer one want to live? I think it would be like right here, maybe. I guess I have to go look up a picture. Expansion modules. There's the Wi-Fi module. It should be in here. There it is. Show me the pictures of what that looks like. Oh, okay. So the header goes here. So here and also in the center there. So that should actually give me a good idea of what's going on. That's why there's a bank of 3, because these are all the 3 ones, and then here's the other one over here. Okay, well, let's see here. These are also just tricky because they're these long guys. And usually I have to tack these manually because there's just no good way of getting them to sit. All right, well. Nice and flat. Seems square. A little bit of a cant there. Let's see if I can take that out. Yeah, that's better. That's better. Now it's not stuck. Okay. Let's just keep going in that fashion. Oh, that was awful. Oh, okay, let's try to fix it. There we go. That's better. Okay. Yeah, get in there. And remember, we had a trick the last time that we did this, which is we'd bind it using some of these standoffs. You know, if I don't knock this off the bench entirely. Jeez. We still have 2 little header pieces here, too. That's interesting. Where do those two go? Maybe down here? Oh man, that is really, really tight. Okay, what else? Yeah, okay. So, the two remaining headers go down here. Gotcha. Now, let's see if we can just... We'll start with one, like we did the last time. If it'll let us. Oh no. That's really hard. Actually came mounted pretty easily. Alright. That's a little interesting. Okay, there isn't a good spot to put this in the PCB device. Oh wait, you silly person. Use the edge of the PCB device. That's what it's there for. Okay. I don't see that switch. It's because it keeps popping out. Okay, now that switch should stay in place. Good. Now let's see here. Do I move around or does the camera move around? It's a mystery. We simply don't know. Okay. No knocking that over. No. That ain't supposed to stick up that way. Nope. That's not supposed to stick up that way. What happened? It literally pushed the pin out. Oh, I hate that. Back in there. Get back in there with your friends. I know. Not every one of us wants to be the pin that gets driven back down, but sorry. That's your fate here. I was wondering why that section was looking unusually extra challenging. I'm actually a fan of the Pine-Sol. It's really small, so it can fit into some pretty tight territory, which is why I enjoy using it over the Hako. I have a big fancy Hako, but I end up using this thing more for the really small electronics, and the other one more for setting heat inserts into 3D prints. Like, something feels terribly backwards here. I'm looking now. We got all of those, all of those, all of those. That one, that one, that one. Oh, the switch! Ugh. Pour one out for my favorite character from The Matrix. I actually don't know if there's any deep lore involved with the character or switch. I just like her look. There probably is deep lore, and I just don't know what it is. Is it even taking the solder, or is it just ending up on the tip? There we go. That was being punky. Okay, switches. Looks like it's actually all in there. Yeah, okay. I think we got most of it. Are we out of parts? We're almost out of parts. The only thing we don't have is one of these pin headers, one of these jumpers actually just in place here. Silence. So I like moving these to non-contacting positions. So they're stored because otherwise I will lose them. And they're not actually affecting anything either. This way I can just set them aside and not have to care so much about them. I just can't relax today. I'm trying really hard. Okay, I guess that will work. So that just means that we have the dreaded pin header, and that means that we have to start pulling pins out. Pin extraction Joel, pin extraction Mike, pin extraction Cambot. Okay, so line pin 1, and we have gobs and gobs of pins to pull. I do have a new smaller set of precision pliers coming. Might even be here tomorrow, but obviously that's not going to help us today. So tonight's Monsterdon is supposed to be Earth versus the Flying Saucers, and I keep remembering this one sketch, one host segment they did in Mystery Science Theater about Crow's script for Earth versus Soup, and I just can't get that out of my head with that title. I wonder if that's what they were riffing on. Earth versus the Flying Saucers, Earth versus Soup. I don't think I've actually ever seen that film. There's a whole bunch of films from the, like, 50s and 60s that I just never got around to watching, even though some of them are, like, considered cheesy classics and practically free to get because no one's really defending the copyright on them vigorously. Looks like I have 4 more pins to go. I did also order the new sound card for the rc2014, or the one that's just an emulated one instead of a vintage chip. See, I'm not really building this for vintage nostalgia or to be some kind of like old tech purist, because I actually don't have much nostalgia for the Z80 at all. I didn't have a Spectrum when I was a kid. I was not in anywhere where I would have even known that they existed until I was much, much older. Oh, I have one more pin. No, I don't. I have that misaligned. There we go. Okay. There we are. Now we just need to pull the 4 that are on the end, and then we'll be good. We did have a Timex Sinclair in my house briefly. Oh, that's being a punk. Come on. Ones on the ends are terrible. Just can't seem to get a grip on it. There we go. At least 3, if not 4. I said 4. We'll find out. So yeah, I never really had any nostalgia for the Z80 at all. The funny part is that in my house, I kind of missed the home computing 16-bit era. I completely missed it. We had an old Apple, actually I think one of the first computers that we had in the house was a Mac Plus, which is already weird. And then later on, we picked up, like, no, I'm wrong. The first computer that we had was a Texas Instruments 99-4A. Now, there's a machine that you don't hear a lot of nostalgia for. Okay, we got all of those in there. Now we just need to tack it. Where's a good place to do that? How about right here in the end? Nope, that's not gonna work. What do I have that will work for this? Stupid thought. What if I just put a toothbrush under there? Weirdly enough, that's actually working. Okay, well. And the fan doesn't want to start. Someday I will correct that problem. Someday. Today is not that day, my friends. So yeah, I kind of missed the entire home computing 16-bit era. It was just not a thing in my house. We had a Texas Instruments 99-4A. That was the computer that was the first house computer and the first computer that we had. which was already well past their prime, but, you know, at that time, you could get away with a computer that was past its prime, and it would not be a problem. It would be perfectly normal and acceptable to have a computer that was past its prime, because computers tended to last a lot longer, it seemed, back then. It really is far back on the bench. It's just driving me nuts how far back on the bench that is. And it's crooked too. That doesn't help. There we go. The bench cam looks great now, at least. Oh wow, I just realized the lamp joint on this thing. The lamp joint could use a ball mount here, and it would actually be better. Then it wouldn't get in the way as often. Huh, okay, well, I'll try to keep that in mind. Because right now, guess what it's doing? It's getting in the way. We missed all of the Amiga stuff. I had no idea the Amiga even existed until it was already basically considered dead. I don't know how that happened. I'm thinking it's probably just a Midwestern thing because, like, there's no way that I wouldn't have heard of this. I remember seeing Apple GS's occasionally, but that was already at their tail end, their brief tail end. So, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know why I missed it. I'm just chalking it up to I'm from the Midwest and in the Midwest, and because of that, we just missed a whole bunch of stuff. Because if you're from the Midwest, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? Doesn't go to concerts because no one actually has concerts here. That actually changed about a decade ago. Now we have concerts here all the time, and it's not a big deal. I also never had a Commodore. I mean, I think that I played with one briefly, but that was well after they came and went for me, so it's like, we didn't even have that. It was practically all Apple stuff here. It's not that you couldn't find it, it's just that I personally never just got to see it. Like, I remember going to swap meets with my dad when I was really little, and seeing things like, wow, what's this weird all-black computer with this built-in aero pad on it? That looks really futuristic and cool. It's an Atari. I had no idea what that was until, like, this year, because I just never bothered to research, hey, there was a 16-bit era? What? I had no idea. Soldering connections. I'm certainly not going to poo-poo anybody's nostalgia that they have for this. It's just, it's one thing I actually don't have much of. If I was going to get a retro computer to play with. I was actually thinking about this yesterday. It would probably be either like an SE30, a classic, or a color classic. Because those are the systems that I have kind of, feelings for. Granted, if someone were to like show up with a Performa 6400 at my doorstep, I would be like, yes, I will take you up on that, because that was my high school computer for years. But I wouldn't really have anything to use with it. Yeah, Detroit is it Midwest? Is it? Detroit's like Chicago in some cases. Like, if there's an order in this particular part of the country, it often feels like first you're gonna say Chicago, because everybody does. There's a time zone practically named after it. And then afterwards you might say Detroit. And then it starts getting to an argument between Minneapolis and Madison, the Twin Cities and Madison. It's just like, I'm crouching as I do this. Why am I doing that? Why am I slumping and crouching so much today? Like this. The solder. Solder. There, finally. I'm just having visual processing issues today. I mean, I am terribly underslept, but okay, I think that board is done. I think it's done. All the connectors to the ESP32 seem okay. They don't seem bridged. They do all seem like they've bonded pretty well with it. And the pins are on, and pin 1's here. These capacitors are still crooked. It's like one of them is saying, hey, 22 microfarads. I'm cold. Alright, so I think we have that board done, which is good to know. Okay, so now I have this camera too far forward. That is almost right. Maybe? Maybe? No one's I'm not doing this for the professional camera. They're pals. Pals. Pals, right? Pals. Okay, that's one more board. Alright, I think that means there's just one board left. The IDE hard drive module, which I don't have, a hard drive for yet, but oh well. I still love these little popcorn bags that these come in. Ah, now I want popcorn. I really need to get that popcorn popper I was threatening myself with a few weeks ago. Why didn't I do that? Why didn't I get that? Aha! I knew it. I knew it! Another part in there. Anything else? No? Okay. And the chips for this one are actually on the side here in one of the original packaging. So, all right. So now we have. Wow, this is a complicated board. It kind of looks like the CF card board, but more. Why is this board so complicated? Why is there so much stuff on it? Does the CF card one just look as complicated as that? Am I just... I don't know. Roommates even. Roommates. I'm surprised my computer has not overheated yet. Probably because this time I'm using an actual power supply. Alright, I'm guessing the capacitors are going to be the first. We only have one packet of them. And they're the same 104s that we have everywhere. Okay. Let's move some of these aside. Caught that one on my shirt when it decided to go on a little adventure. Oh man. I don't need this board because I don't have a hard drive, but I don't want to lose these tiny little frickin' capacitors either. You just have a lot of energy for a little capacitor. I'm just really excited. You're really excited to be here today. Okay, what else do we got? We have a packet of diodes. Stripe goes here, stripe goes there. So pretty straightforward. Get the finer ones. See, now I'm hearing the fan from my laptop. That has not... it's been a while since I've watched The Endless. Oh! That's actually a DVD I don't have in my collection. I have a stream of it. But I don't have the DVD. I need to get that. It's probably a hard one to find because that was an indie film. Sometimes less those The little components just are so excited to be here that they just want to go on an adventure. They're like, no, I don't want to be part of this board. Like, no way, man. I have to live free. I have to live free. Hey, man, that's why I'm called a resistor. God. I've had that actually happen with me with M2 and M3 hardware when I was building the Voron 0.2. Like, there's probably still like several bolts and several M2 nuts just like hiding in my office upstairs. That's why I don't have any of this upstairs anymore. Because those kept flying off into the floor and then someone ended up stepping on them, and that hurts. So we don't, that's why I'm down here now. It's pretty good. Hey, do you remember that we actually started memorizing the resistor color code? We know that orange is a 3. So this is a 3. Wow, am I blurry and blown out again? I'm definitely blown out. But yeah, so we know this resistor being orange is definitely that. Wish I had manual aperture control on these. The only other choice would be to move the lamp out of the way, and then it gets really dark really fast. Oh, it was so loose. The lamp was so loose that it was drooping slowly during the entire... That's why I kept losing my position. Oh, see, that would make sense. I don't know why I didn't realize that. Okay. Yep, that's 33 ohms, just like we'd expect. So that's definitely that one. Where'd that probe go? And this one, we know that brown is 1, black is 0, orange is 3, so in this case that's a multiplier, so 3 zeros. So 10 kiloohms. Yep, that's what we thought. All right, now we know what those are. And I already lost the 3. There it is. Okay. I need to get this shop better organized. This is just a pain. Why am I doing this? Just have the lamp out of the way so that you're not all blinded by what I'm doing. But now everything is so small. Everything is just so small now. Also, my anti-static strap is just giving me grief today. Just keeps getting in the way and making my wrist land on part of it. Actually, instead of a metal detector, I think what I would have probably do is you can actually buy hardware magnets for shops. And it's basically just a big bar permanent magnet or series of permanent magnets on a roller on a stick. So it's like a mop, but for magnets. I keep thinking I should get one of those because I could roll it around my shop and actually pick up all the hardware that I lost. The only problem is that my shop is already so messy that I think that I can't use it effectively either. It would just get in the way. There we go. How's the bench cam, you know, over here in the corner of the screen treating everyone? Is that doing okay? It's the first time I've tried it. I think that it adds something, considering I keep going off camera whenever I try bending these leads. I really do need to get the shop cleaned up. It's awful. It should not be this bad, but I'm always so tired feeling from work or life or whatever. That's why I come in here and I solder instead. Thanks for the comment, Les. I tried 3 cameras in one of my tests too. I think the laptop nearly like fell over and begged for death at that point. Please, Montresor, let me die. Come on, man, you've been hanging in there for 7 years. You've got some more life in you yet. I know that some people actually have 3D print a bending tool for this, and that's cool if you like doing that, but I don't know, I just really like working with the tweezers. That's just me. There's something about tweezer work that I just really, really enjoy. Is that weird? It's probably weird, isn't it? Oh man, this bench needs wrist rests. Or that, or I have to move my work further in again. Because, wow, I am just like on the edge here all the time. Wow, that can't be good for my wrists either. I've got IT programmer wrists now. Go, all nice and neat in a row. And what's left, there's only one component, and if I remember correctly, the flat side is negative, short is negative, because negative is pessimistic for some reason. It's technically a higher level component than the sockets, but I don't think I care. Hey, brain guy, do I care? Somebody has Mystery Science Theater on the brain. There's like one jumper. Did you give me a little jumper piece and I lost it already, or? Because I'm not seeing it. Oh, yes, you did. You did give me a tiny jumper piece. Okay, there's this. 5 views, wow. A new record. Here we go. It's tiny. It's tiny. Okay, let's it's either that or I start tacking on the sockets here. So I just get a little bent in transit. Yeah, that worked. Didn't expect it to, but it did. Even pressure on the back, and then just kind of force the pins over. Ideally at all 4 corners until you can let go and it just holds in place. That's pretty nice. This one's really big, so I want to do one in the middle too. Yeah, that works. Cool. That's going to get in the way. Let's do that one last. Toothbrush. Let's kind of sandwich the part in the bristles. And now that the part's in the bristles, we can get that soldered up. Oh. Oh, I wonder if I should have done that. Well, that's a different thought for a different time. Oh no! It crashed! The soldering iron crashed. I had to reboot the soldering iron. Yeah, crooked as the day is long. Alright, enough of that. Come on, you little capacitor. Yeah, that doesn't look right. Was it fine and it just didn't look fine from my angle? Is that what it was? That's what it was, wasn't it? Here we go. Ah! Wires! Don't do that. They're so hard to get to. Oh no, that one's being a little jerk too. Let's try this diode that's in the front instead. Otherwise I'm going to get out the flux. Oh, that's such a... Oh, it's just a... Oh. Ugh. There we go. That should be a little bit easier to work with. Come on, guys. This is another thing, like, this mat is, like, all the way back here now, so, like, the fan is, like, halfway off of it. I just can't get this set correctly. Yeah, that looks okay. Comically bad side pattern. Comically bad there. Alright, I was also going to check. I was going to check to make sure that the sockets looked like they sat all the way down on the board on the corners that I got. And they do. Yeah, those look like they sat correctly. Okay. Everything else looks okay. Oh, I still missed this pin, but we'll get to that. We'll get to it. Alright. soldering at this scale is less about mechanical forces and more about fluid dynamics sometimes. The way some of these little pins will just suck the solder in if it gets stuck on the end of the soldering iron instead. Okay, that pin is there, it's pointing at me, so I can't see it. This pin right here, way at the end. The pin is there, it's just hard to see from the angle I'm looking at it. Just checking for any pins I missed. Like this one way over here that I completely missed. Other ones look okay, though. This pin needs a lot more solder, though. So back into the holder you go. That's technically still not the lowest component. Okay, this one has many, many fine pins. Oh, jeez. Let's do the other one first. Oh, that one's also not the lowest component. Okay. Fine. Fine. Toothbrush. Sure. that held on. I got the key in the right location, too. That's good. I almost put that one in upside down. I can't believe I didn't think of this toothbrush trick earlier. It's really handy. Take a toothbrush, stick it into the component. Then solder one pin, and then you're good to go. Now this one wants to stick out pretty badly. However, now that you have solder on the pin, you can actually put manual pressure on it. Just reheat the pin real quick. And now it lays flat. Same with this one. Put manual pressure under it. Heat the pin. Let it cool off. Perfect. Yeah, that's great. Alright. Let's put that back into the vise. And we're almost done with our stream today because most of today is just soldering these little components. Also, I don't really want to go on too long today if I can help it. Brushy, brushy. Making sure that actually sat correctly. Tap this one real quick. And all I'm going to do is reach under it with my finger and then snap into place. And now it's tight. And we should be able to go after both of these very easily. See if we can get those centered up for you. These tiny pins are probably going to be the most challenging of the entire build. The second one's probably anything on the ESP module, but just because the pins are so fine and so close together here, you'll need a really fine soldering iron to get to it. And the technique I've been using for these is you touch the soldering iron, the pin with the soldering iron, and just enough to bend it over slightly. You'll see it in your microscope or in your magnifying glass. And then you put the solder on the pin, and through capillary action, it just sucks the solder right up. That. You get a whole bunch of pins done real quick using that. Solder is all bent. Let's try that again. There we go. It's a little bit hairier here, simply because you've got another pin behind you, but there's also kind of a strategy that I'm having. Because there's rosin in this solder, I actually am soldering the pins closest to the fan, which is up here, just off camera. so that any of the smoke lands on pins that are already soldered and clean. I wish I had another soldering project after this one, but I actually really don't. What am I going to do after this one? Probably just won't have screens for a while until I get another project. Come on. There we go. These pins are comparatively easier compared to the fine ones. And there's probably room to work around them too, so it makes it a lot easier. That looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. So there's really only the fun component left, other than the header, which we usually do last. Everyone loves a good power connector. Nothing like a power connector to just soak up the solder. They're fun because you just use great big blobs of this stuff. Where's my tweezers? There it is. So toothbrush trick again. And I'll just wedge it in there. And then we pick any pin that looks like it's sticking up the most. And we put manual pressure on the outside. You can see my finger. And then we just repeat that and put pressure back onto the board. And there we go. Just like that. Tacking. Oh yeah. Isn't that just satisfying? Just ramming the solder into this connector. Oh. Oh yeah. Oh. That's what we're here for. So satisfying. Power connectors are so much fun. RF connectors, not so much. They almost have too much mass. It's a little crooked on the board, but it's good enough. I think that will do. That just leaves the headers on the back. So let's do our toothbrush trick again. And at pin 1, and pin 1. Put on our toothbrush. This one's going to be a little bit more challenging, so let's... Nope, that's too big. That's too big. Let's try this one. Okay, there we go. You can see this ridiculous setup in the bench cam. It's just... Oh, there's so much. I'd like to tack the other side of this, too. There's a good old toothbrush trick. I do have an ESD safe brush coming. There we go. Yeah. It's nice and seated, I think. I'm pretty happy with that. Oh, we can actually turn that off. That's nice. Also, my headset ran out. That's okay. All right. I guess we just need to put the chips in now. Where did I put those? Here, probably. Come on. Fine. Another movie that I also just recently remembered. I think I no longer have my copy of Get Shorty. I used to really love that movie. Used to watch that all the time. Okay. So, well, obviously the big chip is the big chip. In fact, all the chips are different sizes this time. You can actually see that you got the big chip, we got the small chip, which is one row of pins shorter than this one. Row, column, whatever. So all of them are different sizes. So let's start with the smallest one. It is, put my lamp back in place here. A 25AL, no, it's a 74HC2 HCT04N, which should be this one here. And like usual, the pins are not quite aligned yet, so we're gonna bend those down just a little bit. Definitely getting to the end of the stream because it's getting harder and harder to sit in this chair. I was actually thinking that I should have gotten, yeah, that looks okay, an office chair and put it in here instead, but I didn't do that. So I just have my little shop stool, which not particularly comfortable after a while. Oh no, I bent those two pins by accident. Real careful, bend them back. This one is a 74HCT138. Registration pin goes there. A little bit concerned about that one pin here because that one's bent. Good. Yeah, that actually went in there okay. Okay. Now there's just the big one, which already has a really wonky pin here on the edge. Oh dear. Oh my. I'm gonna break this one, aren't I? This is the one I'm gonna break, and I'm gonna end the whole day on a sour note because it broke. I know, laptop. Life is hard and cruel. Okay, that side, yeah, it still needs a little bit more bending. Get that nicely seated. Why does this thing have such a big chip in it just to run IDEs? It's like an IDE controller chip or something? Probably. I don't know how IDE works. I vaguely know how SCSI works, but I've never bothered with IDE. Oh, jeez, there's still so many pins here that I just don't wanna. I'm just trying to persuade them all very gently to get into the right shape. Oh, I think we got that. That's all looking good on that side. That one's harder to see, but that one's looking about right to me too. The registration mark is in the right spot front, so we're... That's it. That is the IDE board, all built. And if I'm not mistaken, that is the last board, too. We have all of the rest of the machine all built. All right. So that's the IDE board. Now let's move the lamp out of the way. So that's the IDE board. And we still have the entire rest of the computer over here, which just looks huge on the microscope cam, but yeah, it's all here. So that's that board, and we have 4 more boards and 1 more board actually showing up later. So yeah, we have everything on this machine ready to go. We could even put these in, but I don't really want to put them all in right now because I know that I'm probably going to be taking every one of them out except probably, well, I'll take the... I'm going to take this one out, which is the terminal card, and then see what we get when we actually want to boot this up. But I think that's going to be the next time, so I'm going to set this aside. That was a lot of work. Wow. So much work. But now, let's go ahead and turn the soldering iron off. Soldering iron is now off. It is now unplugged. Okay, so we're safed there. And we have the IDE controller board that we made. We also suffered our way through the ESP32 board with that hard surface mount component and that other really hard surface mount component. And in the last time we finished our real-time clock and also our our digital I/O module. So that is everything. We are ready to actually assemble this and ready to actually power it on and see if it works. But that's all the time I've got today. So we're going to stop there. Thank you for joining, everyone. I had a lot of fun. Hopefully there'll be one more of these next week when we actually do the sound card and then boot it up. Or should we boot it up and then do sound card later? Get 2 streams out of it. Maybe we'll do that. Anyways, thank you for joining, and I'll see you later. Bye!